All right. Well, good morning, everybody. So a little bit about Cactus Mat. We are a full service matting company. We cross janitorial, food service, entrance, commercial mats. The company was started in 1930 by my great grandfather. We are still family owned, located here in Southern California. I'm excited to talk to you guys today about matting, and also would love to get any questions at the end or whenever that you guys might have in regards to matting and specific applications that you guys have questions about. But I'm going to let Julian begin with the rubber mats, and I will be showing a little bit of what he's talking about, and feel free to chime in if you guys have any questions.
So, as Kaylee mentioned, full service matting company, and what that means is we this is our business. We do mats. We have a few other items that we have in our product line, like rubber cutting boards, plastic boards, but mats is our major focus. And our products are sold in food service, janitorial, industrial applications. And we have a lot of tools and information for you to help you become very good at selling mats or understanding mats or being able to talk about mats as well. So as we go through this meeting, we'll touch base on some of those tools and different things that have been very successful for everybody who's getting involved with selling and understanding mats and the applications of where all the mats go and why we use mats. So rubber mats, kitchen mats. These are the mats you'll see them in all the kitchens with the holes, and you have them in black and red. There's a few other different colors, and you have different sizes. So in our catalog, we show a location and recommendation floor plan. This is for choosing the right mat for the right application, the best mat, I should say, for the right application. And what we do is we show about 14 different locations. And that the other thing that we provide you on this here is good, better, and best. So you have your options. And naturally, the good, better, and best, that gives you price points, quality, probably everything that you need to sell a specific mat to a specific company. If you're selling a mat to a company who has a food truck, well, chances are you're going to probably send them something that's more in the good category. If you're selling a high-end steakhouse where there's a major grease environment, then you're going to be able to sell them a higher-end product. You're going to need to have a mat that's going to be able to last a lot longer. It's going to be a mat that's going to be able to hold up very well in a heavy grease environment. And so these are the things that we always kind of look for, you know. You want to sell the correct mat to your customer. You can't oversell, and we have mats that will be able to provide you with the basics for selling economy products and then high-end products. There are end users out there that do need to have the high-end product because it's going to the mat may not last in their environment. It all depends on what they're doing.
I can ask a question.
Yep.
You hear a lot of times grease proof and grease resistant. Okay.
Right.
And I know we have all these colored mats, black, brown, red, but typically you're going to be using, like you said, with that map, which everyone will be getting a copy of that PDF. But can you go into a little bit about grease proof and grease resistant and where some mats should go and where some mats shouldn't go, depending on the grease proof or grease resistant?
Sure. And on to that question, you know, when we say grease resistant, that's basically, you're going to probably find that more in your black mats. Grease resistant, what it is, it's all purpose. It's sort of an all purpose type of mat, which really does not really belong in a heavy or even a moderate grease environment. It has, the grease proof is basically meaning that the mat is going to hold up a lot longer in a grease environment. It's going to be able to withstand the grease so that it doesn't break down. It all has to do with how much that grease is going to break the mat down. So a grease-proof mat means it's not going to break down as fast as a grease-resistant mat. Kaylee, you've had some experience on the black mats. let's touch base on that first as far as grease resistance is concerned. I think that might be a good way to start on that question.
Well, we did develop some mats that are designed to be in the kitchen in a grease environment that are black, and that's our Guardian. Let me grab that for a second. So this mat right here is our Guardian, and even though it's black, it is grease proof. It's designed to be in a very greasy environment. Despite it being black. We developed this because we did have a few chefs complaining that the red mats showed not dirt so much, but just showed wear and tear more easily, and they wanted to have a black option. So this Guardian would be a good recommendation for that. It's lightweight, it's low profile, you can roll carts over it, and it's reversible as well. I don't know if you can see that on there.
Well, let me ask you a question, Kaylee, if I can jump in here real quick.
Yeah.
So would you use that black mat there behind the hotline, or would you continue to use that for the red mats for the hotline, and then maybe say use that black mat out in front of the hotline in the waiter and waitress area? Because you said, like, for example, carts can roll over it a lot easier, whereas the red waffle mat, that's a bear getting carts across.
You could use it still in the hotline. Yeah, we put a 2-year warranty against breakdown from grease on that Guardian. The red that you're probably thinking of, the beefy one, the big red thick one, we put a 5-year warranty on that. So it will last a little longer doing the red one, but there's no issue putting the black one in the cook line. The only time this might become an issue is if it's too close to the dishwash area, because it's 18 pounds, the 3x5. And so in that instance, you might want to look at a 40-pound mat just so that this doesn't slide. That would probably be my only hesitation on this mat, is I would not want it too close to a dishwash station.
And if I can jump in here again real quick, and I apologize for doing so,
No,
because believe it or not, I'm excited about mats. Mats
okay.
are really cool, okay? And the thing about mats is, with that flyer, which everyone's going to get a copy of, you can sell multiple mats. But my question is this, and I want to just, when you say, 2-year and 5-year warranty, I kind of want you to go into that real quick about the 2-year and 5-year warranty, because I know if I was to use the word bleach, I see a smile on your face now, Kaylee.
Stop you right there. Yeah.
Bleach is for shirts. And my thing is this, however, restaurants and food service operators use bleach on floors. What does bleach do to your mats?
Well, it can eat away at the grease. So the mats, especially the grease-resistant, grease-proof ones that are made with nitrile, when bleach and degreasers and things like that touch the mats, it starts to eat away at the components that make the mat grease-resistant. So it is a prorated warranty. I'm glad you brought that up. We do have a 1-page questionnaire that we do send out, and we can send you a copy of that just so you have it to send to your customers when they approach you with warranty questions. That does break down how are you cleaning the mats, how are you cleaning the floors, what frequency are you cleaning, and with what products. There is a caveat of that. We do tag all of our mats. I realize that by the time it gets to the end user, the tag may not be on there, and it's also something that they might just rip off. But we do explain in both English and Spanish not to use bleach. But essentially, it just breaks down the components. Nitrile is the biggest component that makes our mats grease resistant, and just exposure to bleach and degreasers and those heavy duty chemicals just starts to break that down. Also the dishwasher.
Just hit the nail right on the head when she mentioned nitrile. See, that's the big key in the grease-proof mat. See, the mats that are manufactured with 100% nitrile, or they could be 80%. Those are the mats that won't break down. Those are the mats that are grease-proof. Those are the mats that are made to not break down fast, unless you're constantly using a bleach or a butyl-based degreaser, because eventually that will deteriorate the mat. Okay, it's not going to happen right away. I mean, if you have a mat with a 4-year warranty and you're using butyl-based degreasers to clean it, it might take a period of time before it breaks down, but it will get gummy eventually. And also the use of dishwashers. commercial dishwashers will also break it down. Keep in mind when we look at what to use to clean the mats. You know, I always hear people sometimes will say, "Well, we use this pink soap, or we'll use some products that they get from Ecolab and different things." Those are very harmful. Those are all very harmful products. Generally, you need to use a mild detergent. If you use a mild detergent, then that will help keep the life of the mat where it should be for the periods of time that you're going to use it. I mean, if you have a mat that lasts 2 or 3 years with a 4-year warranty, you've done really well. I mean, you've done pretty good. I mean, because they take a beat in some of these mats, and they're not always cleaned properly or not always cleaned often. So those are all great questions to review. And then the mats that do not have the amounts of nitrile, they all have nitrile of a compound or a blend of nitrile at some point. Those are the mats that are grease resistance, basically. Then we suggest to use those everywhere else in the kitchen. Could be you can use them behind the bar, prep areas, pantry areas, pot washer, any other area. But as far as the cooking line, it's good to stay with a nitrile mat, or it's good to stay with a red mat, even though if it's not nitrile, if the environment isn't that high, as far as grease is concerned, because you still have to deal with the price points. I mean, you might not have an end user that can afford to buy a $100 mat. You can afford to buy a $50 mat, but if you give them the right one, you'll be able to work it out. That mat that Kaylee showed you, though, that Guardian mat, that's a real good go-to mat. We have that in 3 different sizes as well. I think we've got 3x5, 3x10, 3x15, and it's black and red, and it's the same material, so you can use the black. And like Kaylee said, we did that because there were end users that wanted a black nitrile mat. So it's the same price as well. All right, so now you have your mats, and then you have different sizes. You have bevel edges, you got straight edge, you got mats that are 1/2 inch thick. You have mats that are 7/8. 7/8 thickness mat would be a more comfortable mat to work with. It will last a lot longer because it has more thickness. The advantage of the bevel edge is, like Kaylee mentioned, you can send a cot to go across it, no problem there. It's and it's a little bit lighter. Some of the mats, your bevel edge matches, they average around 18 to 25 pounds. Your 7/8 mats usually go anywhere between 30, 35 pounds, in that range there. So some of them are really heavy. And that's right, Kaylee, you mentioned that the Guardian mat is a reversible bevel edge. That's a nice feature too. So just keep that one in mind. So rubber mats is a big possibility. We also have mats with connectors, built-in connectors. Usually we have a 3x3 mat, which is a great mat. It's called the Prima. And this particular mat has the built-in connectors on 2 sides, and it's an economy mat. It's not, we sell a lot of black mats. These are good in pizza. Again, areas where you're not going to get a lot of grease in, and where it's hot. We used to call this the hot dog stand mat. It's it's great in food trucks, that type of thing. So keep in mind that's a good economy mat you can sell, and it's very light, weighs like 12 pounds.
These are the connectors right here. These are like the male components, and then they interlock, if you can see under here, to these little circles on the next piece. So it's a great option because you're not having to deal with little pieces. Some people zip tie their mats, but this is a good alternative to that. You're not having to deal with connectors. Yeah.
So all mats have to do, the bottom line is basically how long, the quality of the mats, the comfort, the drainage, and the quality of the product. That's what you kind of look for. And then you can work with our floor mat selector guides to try to figure out which mat would be best for the application, the company that you're selling. So what you do is you take our floor mat application, and Kaylee's showing the little black spot on the prep area, and then you'll see good, better, and best. And you can, this way here, you have some additional choices, of what you can sell, and you can sell products that you have out of stock using this particular little slide chart. You get the cooking line, the bar area, dishwasher, cash register area. Then you can turn it around. We have additional locations too. You have restrooms, you have maintenance areas. So that's all good too. And in rubber mats too, keep in mind, we have a lot of different runners. People like to have runners so they don't slip and fall. That's a big part of matting, making sure that you have mats that, protect everybody that's working in the kitchens. So you have different types of runners. And these mats are also used in walk-in coolers and walk-in freezers, and we have them with solid grip, we have them with perforated, you have them with drainage holes. So you will find a lot of different areas and a lot of different mats that you can sell one customer, because you can just pick right through all the applications and come up with all different mats. Now you can also sell those, your customers, maybe one or two of those mats to cover almost all of those areas too. So
what's nice about these rolled goods here is they come on a 60-foot roll. And so if you have a walk-in, that's 10 feet or 7 feet or 6 feet, you can custom cut it to go into the walk-in. It comes 3 foot and 4 foot wide. And it's just a great option to offer safety. It's something that most of your customers are probably not even considering, that they would need a mat in the walk-in. Also, if you have any spillage, if something spills in the walk-in, it's easier to pull the mat out and clean the mat off rather than have something spill on the floor. And now you're having to pull everything out of the walk-in. So it does have grippers on the back of it. So it's a great option for a customer that's maybe more interested in safety. And it also provides some anti-fatigue. It's not very thick, it's about 3/8 inch, but there is some anti-fatigue properties to this as well. And that's for this one as well. Both Nyrib and Reversa-Mat, they both come on 60-foot rolls.
Great. And we do a lot of custom work too. I'm
reading the chat. Yes. This on the website, there is a link. I'll pull it up for you guys. Go ahead, Julian. Start talking. No. I'm going to pull up the link.
I just want to also let you know that we also have do custom work. We have a technician. We've been able to actually customize mats at the factory and ship them out and have the mats put together. If you look at the back of our catalog, even the back page of the catalog, Kaylee, you'll see how we did a custom job over here. We do this with bar areas and in other locations, so you can actually customize some of the rubber mats. A lot of the custom work that we do have to do with carpet entrance mats, which we'll get to next. But you can also do some custom work with rubber mats.
Real quick, so this is cactusmat.com. I haven't gone anywhere else. I just went to cactusmat.com. If you scroll down here, you'll see selector guide in green. This selection guide is essentially the slide guide I just showed you. It lists all the areas that need mats, and then when you click on one of them, it'll pop up with a good, better, best. So whether you're talking to a high-end hotel or you're talking to a school, maybe with a tighter budget, you can click on, whatever you think their budget might be. And then this pops up. What's great about this is it doesn't say Cactus Mat and it doesn't have any pricing. You can share this either with yourself or you can email it or message it to the customer. It basically provides all the specs for the product. And if you need to follow up later, you can just make a little note like, cook line option or hostess stand or whatever particular part of the restaurant you may, or cafeteria you may be talking to them about. But this is all available on the website. And this information is pulled from the slide guide from this right here.
Yeah, that's a wonderful tool because if you have a salesperson talking or driving and they can pull right over, get on their phone, and within seconds they can send their customer a picture of the product with all the features and benefits of the item and the sizes. So just something good.
On the customization, Julian, that you were speaking of, so we do have a guy here. His name is George, and if there's enough projects, he can fly out and do it. But also, if you're able to get craft paper or template paper and you're able to take measurements, that's also a way that we can do customization. that won't be as expensive. You give us preliminary measurements, we quote it, and then my guy can actually fly out and just do the installation or any custom cutting on site. One of the jobs he did, this was local here, but it was a circular bar. I believe this was a sushi restaurant where, and this is also in the catalog. So this bar, it was a circular bar. You can kind of see there's a black line, I think, going across it. So that's where we basically put some Velcro and seamed it. So it's 2 half circles. So it allowed them at the end of the night to pull the mat up and clean underneath it and then lay it back down. But things like that we love doing. We never shy away from customization. And it's nice if the customer says, you know, I just have this area and the standard 3x5 isn't going to work. So that's definitely something that we gravitate towards. Are happy to help walk you through that as well to do that.
Tony, this is a major part of the Cactus business that NoTrax did not provide. We would make some suggestions, but we were never able to. NoTrax was never able to provide the customization that Cactus has put to place, and they can do it in their own factory. So, just another good reason to be doing business with Cactus, Matt. So we never shy away from any opportunities or projects. And if there's a mat that's not in the catalog, chances are pretty good that we could still get that mat. Maybe we can't, but if we don't, we would always be able to provide a good substitute for you. So just to keep that in mind. So you never want to walk away from any mats or opportunities for custom programs. It's always good. And so now, I guess, Tony, what we'll do is we'll just get into some of the entrance mats. In food service, you have like about 2 or 3 that probably sell 90%. The olefin mats that we have, carpet with vinyl back, the needle rib, which is a rib mat. These are good scraper mats, vinyl back as well. And then also the sort of like it's called a Water Well 1. It's like the Anderson Water Hog or the Water Master that NoTrax has. Those are probably the 3 most biggest selling items that we have. And you have many different sizes and all the different colors. And again, but in food service, basically you're looking, and that one there is I think that was the Water Well 1. All right. So anyway, with carpet entrance mats are also a really big part of the program. So if you're selling a rubber mats to your customers, you can sell them entrance mats as well. And not only these 3 mats, we have many other options too. We have machine washable. We have the different types of logo mats that the service companies supply with rubber back. So you have lots of options with carpet, and it's not a difficult product to sell. They use them in entrances, but we do big item that we sell quite a bit of is logo mats. And Cactus Mats has a major product line of different types of logo mats from economy to high end. This year here, we came out with a more economy mat. We have what is called a Cactus Patch mat. And what it is, it's a vinyl back. And it's a good quality product. I mean, it's very similar to the NoTrax Impact mat that they have. It's again, it's got a great price point. We can do all different types of colors. We have a lot of background colors. And you're looking at a 3x5 mat there at $148. And and one mat is all we need. One mat. That's the minimum. And all the colors, that are available. There's very few mats that we can't produce with the colors that are given to us with the logo mats. But also our line goes far beyond that. Okay, we also have high-end types of mats called Camino Real. These are mats that you might see in foyers of, that were right there, big hotels, in restaurants. And these are the mats that have, warranties, and we can do different types of mats. We can do circles and many different styles there. So when you look at, and so I sent over a couple of new flyers that we did. One is a two-sided flyer, and that covers all the different types of logo mats that we have, from the DigiPrint, which is the machine washable rubber back, to the Camino reel. We also have a rubber scraper logo mat, like the Ridge Scraper, and we have also a vinyl type of mat too. It's called the Newport logo mat. So many different types of logo mats, and that's a big part of our business. I mean, we have a lot of business on logo mats, especially everybody likes to see their logos. So it's always a good point to bring up logo mats. If you don't, and if you're working with a customer, they don't have a logo mat, you know, it's a good thing to bring up, and then you can show them the pictures and different types of logos that we have done. Latest Cactus Patch Economy mat, we're showing probably about 10 different locations where we've done some logo mats.
This is a great one also for beach areas, because this is the vinyl one. So this is not a carpet. And what's nice about this is if you get sand or dirt and debris in here, you can just shake it out. It's UV resistant, so you don't have to worry about sun exposure fading it. But this is a great, not many people know about this, have even seen this. They're so used to carpeting being a logo mat. And then onto the Berber, Julian briefly mentioned on this Camino Real, this edging here, this is really heavy duty edging. This is the kind of edging you want at a retirement center or a hotel or a high-end commercial building, where you might have people in high heels or strollers or, you know, it's a great option. You're not going to ever see this edging flip up. No one's going to trip on this. It's very heavy duty. It lays flat, just how you see it here. Also, this is great at camouflaging dirt, sand, and debris. So this is also a decent option as well for a beach property, because again, you're not going to necessarily see all the sand in there. I think this is the color walnut. This color as well as charcoal are our two most popular colors. This is definitely more expensive than the lighter weight ones that you might see in some of the chains, but it's going to last a lot longer as well. And this is UV resistant too, so it can be exposed to the sun.
You know, healthcare, hospitals, you see them, and it's an indoor-outdoor logo mat too, the Berber. So yeah. Outdoor, it's good because it dries fast. Same with our water, and that's the thing about the outdoor carpet mats. They dry quickly, and that's the one of the biggest features of those products. So as we go through most of our items here, you know, that's been, we have specialty mats. We have, when I say specialty mats, you need to kind of go through the catalog a little bit to see some of these different items. They're more geared for industrial and janitorial workshops, different types of runners that will be used in factories and stuff like that, you know. So I think that's probably because you will come across, when you're selling mats, you're going to come across areas where it's not just the food service products that you're going to be selling. You're going to need to sell some of these other items too, because it's going to come into play. Then we also have a line of cutting boards. We have the rubber, the all rubber cutting board, and we have the plastic poly white boards. Okay, so with the rubber boards was always a big popular item. Most of your high-end chefs, they like the rubber board because it doesn't dull the knives, and we have them in a 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1 inch thicknesses, so that you can, as you're using the board, they can also, and it starts to wear down, they can sand it as well. So again, that's probably one of the better boards on the market, and again, it's because of the fact that it doesn't dull the knife. So then the chefs are not always having to have the knife sharpened because of the product itself. And then the poly boards, we do a lot of custom work too with boards as well. You know, we have all the poly boards, 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1 inch, many different sizes. We do a lot of custom. So keep us in mind for all cutting board opportunities too. Then we have accessories for the products for cleaning. We have our hot water hoses. We have a 25-foot and 50-foot 5/8. These are good for the. They use the hoses in the kitchen application. They clean bus trays. They clean everything with it. So it's always good. You're selling mats to sell hoses. And we have the hot water nozzles. We have a standard nozzle. We have a high-end nozzle. We have the pistol type that's the standard one. And we also have a black heavy-duty one too that we've added to the line. And we'll keep that in play for you as well. And we also have the flex tiles. We have the different types of 12-inch PVC tiles that are used in bar areas, and they're also used in other applications too. You can put them on floors. They're used in shower rooms and lockers, country clubs. Country clubs is another great place for logo mats too. Keep that in mind. And then we also carry the matting racks for hanging the mats on the racks for washing and moving mats in different locations. And they keep them on the racks also for drying. There you go. You have a couple of different types of racks that we have there. One's a knockdown and one's a, let's see, these are the transporters. And I think the knockdown is probably our most popular one. It's easy to work with, handles very well. And again, you can move it around and then you can take it apart and put it away if you need to do it at the end of the day as well.
We also have urinal mats as well. That's something that we also offer. And then any kind of floor protection mat. So any kind of runners, anti-fatigue mats, you know, if you've got people stationary, we've got great mats for the hostess stand. Essentially anything that you might come across where a customer wants some kind of anti-fatigue or some kind of safety, that's what we're here for.
Let me jump in here real quick. You know, it's funny you brought up the hostess mat because I always get a chuckle out of that, because the one thing about hostess mats is the hostesses greatly appreciate that. They're standing up there, they're telling people it's an hour wait, and they're getting really people upset when they don't get sat in 60 minutes. You know, so they deserve a little love too. So,
you know, going back to the mat, so we have many different types. There was one mat that we worked on with Jeff Simon. He liked that. He liked this cushion mat, that tile cushion mat. He wanted some of those in his office, and we ended up adding that to our product line as we went to. In wrapping up the program in here, I think basically it's kind of just important to spend some time with our catalog. I think our catalog is probably, the way we designed our catalog, it's probably our best tool that we have in the whole toolbox. It's easy to work with. We keep all the products in one place. You know, you have your entrance mats, your rubber mats, your specialty mats, your hoses, your nozzles, your cutting boards. And we provide a lot of information on each product with features and benefits. We mention workstations and assembly lines and different other areas that all of these products go. So between the catalog and the matting selector guides and flyers that we put out, I think that's I would keep that in your pocket all the time. Just carry that. That's very important. We appreciate the opportunity. Have a great day.
Thank you.